Hi guys, it's Ray here from Man City Fan TV. Yesterday we got some bad news, some more bad injury news, right after hearing about KDB's knee injury, and he'll be out for 2 to 3 months by the looks of things. The club have put out a statement to say that Claudio Bravo, our backup keeper, has suffered an Achilles injury. Now he's got a tear on his Achilles, which probably means he's going to be out for several months, a lot longer than KDB. I mean, there's some people saying that it might be out for the rest of the season or at least 6 months. He'll go to Barcelona on Thursday to be assessed, and hopefully by the end of the week we'll get some more information as to the extent of the injury and how long he'll be out for. And going back 18 months, it's actually quite surprising that we'll be sitting here lamenting the fact that Claudio Bravo's got a serious injury because he had a poor start to his career at City, and quite a few City fans were not happy with him, and and Pep also. That's why we've got Edison in. Now it's a shame for Claudio, especially because he started the pre-season. He seemed to be playing well. In America, he was a very calming influence on a very young defence. People like Eric Garcia is only 17 years old. Luke Bolton's, I think, 18 or 19. Things like that. And Claudio really came through that very well, I thought. And apart from a couple of mistakes he made against Chelsea, he played a good Community Shield. And the way we play at City, with the high line and this sort of sweeper keeper, there's always a risk that the goalkeeper might misjudge and miss time when to come out. And I just think Claudio's done that on a couple of occasions. Edison's done it as well. I don't think he's as highlighted and picked upon as much as Claudio. And I don't think Edison's been as poor in that department. He's been quite strong in that department overall, and we just seem to pick on Claudio's mistakes. I think Claudio came out of the Amazon documentary with great credit because he came across as a real team player, always ready to pass on his vast experience and knowledge to younger players, and to the work he did with Edison, and even going down to the other keepers, Danny Grimshaw, etc. So what can the club do? What are our choices? Since the backup keeper Danny Grimshaw, he hasn't even played for the first team, I don't believe. So we could apply to the FA for permission I believe we could possibly buy or loan a new keeper because it's such a specific position. The FA do have special rules for this, and as I said, since Danny Grimshaw hasn't played any first team football, I think this would be correct circumstances, the right circumstances for the FA to permit us to get another keeper. We could recall Aaron Muric from his loan at NEC Breda, but I'm not sure exactly what the terms of that loan agreement are, whether it's possible to even recall him. And I'm not sure whether recalling him is the right option for him, for his development. And since City put the player's interest first, the best interest of the player first, it's better for Aaron Muric to remain at NEC Breda. He'll keep developing. He needs to play football. He's a decent keeper. I think he's going to go very far. But sitting on the bench, it's a different sort of experience to actually playing games. And I think right now he's better suited to be playing games in the Dutch Eredivisie than sitting on the bench at Manchester City. Right now, the choice of reserve keeper will fall to the next man on the block, and that's Daniel Grimshaw. Now, as Andy said probably just a few weeks ago during the American tour, it was a real shame, a huge shame, that Grimshaw went all the way to America and didn't get any minutes on the tour. And Andy said, what's the point of bringing him if he's not going to play anything? I think there's obviously a benefit there. He's going to train with the rest of the whatever first team squad was there, and with the other kids from the EDS. And he'll get that experience, and being on the bench, he'll get that experience as well. But I agree with Andy. I think he should have had some minutes at the end of games. I don't see the harm in giving him 10 or 15 minutes at the end of each game, just to give him that experience of actually playing on the pitch with the first team in a big game. Just for eventualities like this, you knew he was going to be the third choice keeper, and if and there was a serious injury to the number 1 and number 2, that Daniel Grimshaw would be called upon in some degree. Obviously, probably he's going to be on the bench. But what happens if we get Edison sent off or injured in the next game? I mean, Daniel Grimshaw would have to come on, and he'll be quite raw for his debut. So I agree with Andy. He should have got a few minutes in America. Now, during the summer, I did a couple of videos where I discussed Danny Grimshaw. In one, I was just talking about his new contract because he signed a contract in June, I think, for 3 years. And in another video, I looked at all our goalkeepers and our goalkeeping situation. And I actually said I think we were in safe hands because we had Edison, we had Claudio Bravo, and we had Grimshaw. Aro Muric was going to NEC Breda, and it was great for his development. As I said, I don't expect us to call him back. And I said Joe Hart was leaving. He was bound to leave the club, didn't want him to stay. He needed to move on. And we sold a great keeper in Angus Gunn. And I heard some voices saying we should have kept him. I don't believe that's right. Angus Gunn needs to keep playing. He needs to develop. And having him as third choice keeper at City would have stalled his development. And I think it was best that he went to another club on a permanent sale. I don't have a problem with that. We got a lot of money, about 30 and 40 million pounds. And we've got a buyback clause or a sell-on clause involved as well. So if he does make it, we can to the top. We can always call him back. We can pay the buyback clause, which is about 25 million pounds. So I don't have a problem. I don't have an issue with Angus Gunn being sold. So back to Danny Grimshaw. He's highly rated by Pep. I mean, I wouldn't see him picking Danny as third choice keeper unless that was the case. As I said, he signed a new contract until 2021 recently. And at the time, Danny said, "I'm really happy to commit myself to City for a further 3 years. It's no secret, I've been here many years already, and that I've been a City fan all my life. To be at the club at this exciting time is pretty incredible for me, and to be able to learn and train from goalkeepers like Edison and Bravo made this an easy decision for me." And Cheeky said, "He's a goalkeeper of great potential and has impressed Pep Guardiola and his coaching staff over the past 2 seasons with his hard work and progress. As a result of this, Daniel will be increasingly involved in the first team setup next season." Well, I think Daniel will certainly be in the limelight this weekend against Wolves. It's possible we can get a loan signing in or a free agent in this week. That's a possibility, but I think Daniel should be preparing to be playing as a substitute against Wolves. I'd really like him to get a few minutes as soon as possible. Especially if we're winning comfortably, even 2 or 3 minutes at the end to get him his debut. I really wouldn't want him to be thrown in, thrust into a difficult situation. Like I said, if Edison's sent off or injured, and then Daniel could end up playing a longer time for his debut, I'd rather he just has 2 or 3 minutes, 5 minutes at the end of a game. That way, say 2 or 3 nil up or whatever, comfortably ahead. I think that'll be hugely beneficial for him. He'll get over some of those debut nerves. Yes, absolutely no doubt if he was to play another longer stint in the team in a match, he'd be nervous. That's only natural. He's only 20 years old. But just to get a few minutes under your belt will help calm some of those nerves. So fingers crossed that Claudio isn't as seriously injured as people have been saying, and he'll be back playing later on this season. And good luck to Danny Grimshaw. I think he's a promising goalkeeper. I think he's got a great future, and we might find out how good he is very, very soon. Guys, thanks ever so much. We've hit the 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. I think Andy said we doubled our subscribers in the space of 2 weeks. It's been absolutely phenomenal these last few weeks. Lots of great comments on Twitter and on our YouTube channel. And it's thank you very much to everybody who's already subscribed. If you haven't already subscribed, it's dead easy. There's a big red button under the video that says subscribe. Just click that and you'll be subscribed. Hit the bell icon so you'll be notified as soon as we put out a new video. And if you're enjoying our great and varied content, I mean unique content as well, we're going to football matches. We're previewing games with fans before the games start, getting the videos out before the game's even started, just to give you some build-up and some atmosphere before the match kicks off. We're doing post-match interviews. We're doing previews with fan channels of other clubs. Now, no other City channel is doing that. And we're doing interviews with ex-players. Andy's done a fantastic 6-part series interviewing David White. It's a very hard-hitting, sometimes brutal account of what's happened in his life. That's a fantastic series, and if you want to go and have a look at that, just click through our videos. It's absolutely fascinating series with David, and loads and loads of content, lots of other ideas, lots of collaborations. I think it's going to be a fantastic season for City. So just pass it on, pass our details on, our videos to your friends on social media, and let them get involved in all things that go on with City. See you around, Blues.